over here at the Horror Vial doing another Disturbing Movies review. Today I'm actually doing a review on a movie I really enjoy. I'll just go ahead and say it off the bat. I really enjoyed it. I've actually seen this movie probably around 5 times. It's another French horror movie. It is from 2007. This movie is called Inside. There's a French name to this movie. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to try. It's like La something. But the English name for this movie is called Inside. So, yeah, so a little bit about the movie. It's a 2007 French horror movie. It's considered one of the French horror movies that started the French horror movement. Somewhat like Martyrs, Irreversible, and movies of that nature. It's directed by Julien Maury and Alexandre Bustillo. 2 directors. I'm not really familiar with any of the other works they have, but they did do Inside. And it is considered one of the new wave French horror movies. It's a very interesting concept. I really thought the movie had a lot of high points, and it's very suspenseful, along with very horrific in a lot of the scenes. I'll kind of get into the plot. The plot's kind of it's very interesting, but I don't want to give away anything, obviously. So pretty much, there is this expectant mother at the beginning of the movie. The movie opens up. There's this woman, and she's pregnant. And she's with her husband in this car, and they get into like a T-bone car accident in this intersection at the beginning of the movie. The car accident immediately kills the father, and the mother is like bleeding from the mouth. You think that she possibly might lose the child because there was a lot of impact. There was a pretty impactful car accident, but she doesn't. And the husband does die in the beginning of the movie. Within the first 5-10 minutes of the movie, the husband's dead. Mother, does come out of the car accident, and then it kind of fast forward a few months later, right before she actually has the baby. So, kind of fast forward, you see this mom preparing to have this baby. She's, getting her house done. She's preparing, because it's the day before she actually is supposed to have the baby, her delivery date. Well, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there is a mysterious woman that shows up at her door. And she knocks on doors. Kind of reminds me, the scene with the woman showing up kind of reminded me of A, The Strangers, if you've ever seen that movie, and B, Human Centipede, sort of, where the first movie where the girl showed up at the door and just knocked on it, but really reminded me of The Strangers. The woman knocks at the door. The expectant woman with the baby that got in the car accident comes to the door, and she is listening, and she's like, "Who's there?" And she's like, I need to use your phone. I really need to use your phone. There was some situation going on where she broke down, her car broke down or something. I need to use your phone. Well, the woman says, "I can't let you use my phone. My husband's sleeping." She lies to her, says her husband's sleeping. I can't let you use the phone. So the woman that's on the other side, the mysterious woman's like, "I know your husband's dead, so I need to use your phone." And that kind of triggers something, obviously, in the woman's mind. She's like, something isn't right here. So she is like, obviously doesn't open the door, and you start hearing these things banging all around the house. The mysterious woman shows up on the other side of the house behind this window, and the woman that's pregnant snaps a picture of her all of a sudden. She's scared to death. She snaps a picture and gets a clean picture of her, calls the cops. The cops come out, and they're investigating. They tell her not to worry. They don't think the woman's going to come back, and obviously the pregnant woman's kind of, she's like, I think this woman's probably going to come back. Well, they tell her that they're going to assign like a cop to watch her house for a little bit, and the woman doesn't come back. All of a sudden, fast forward a little bit, a couple days later, the pregnant woman's asleep in her bed, and it kind of pans out, and you see the mysterious woman standing like above her bed with a pair of scissors. And this is one of the first brutal scenes. This movie's fucking brutal as shit. This movie is one of the most brutal movies. Like it is just relentless how brutal this movie is. Like scenes of just torture and craziness. She's standing above her bed with a pair of scissors. She just stabs her pregnant stomach. And of course the woman wakes up and she runs into her bathroom. She somehow gets to the bathroom and locks the door. Well, the mysterious woman's trying to get in, banging on the door trying to get in, and can't get in. A lot of stuff happens after that happens. Probably about 70% of the movie, this pregnant woman's in this bathroom. this woman's pretty much the whole entire movie's plot is this mysterious woman is trying to get into the bathroom and trying to get to this pregnant woman. Pretty much the entire movie. There's a lot of stuff that happens. Like the woman's employer comes over, the pregnant woman's employer comes over, and the mysterious woman acts like it's her daughter or her sister or something. And the employer, obviously gets stabbed and things happen to him. And then a couple other people come over and things happen to them. Toward the end of the movie, you got this cop that comes over with this prisoner, and they actually get into the house and they actually get in the bathroom with the woman. They tell her to stay in there because the mysterious woman's like disappeared, like she's somewhere in the house. And it's just really, really, really like suspenseful. You just like you do not know what's going to happen next. There is a ton, like this disclaimer. I love bloody, gory, like crazy movies. This movie has a fuck ton of blood and gore. Just to kind of name a couple of things that are in this movie. You got blood and gore, tons of it. You got stabbings. You got a forced abortion. You got a head being blown off with a shotgun that's at point blank range. You got hands getting stabbed, like body parts getting stabbed with weapons. There's a lot of stuff going on in this movie, guys. It's very, in my opinion, if you're not used to blood and gore, like I let my mom watch a movie and she thinks like Final Destination's disturbing, or she thinks that she can't handle Final Destination. This is like nothing like that. Like if I let my mom borrow this movie, she would probably never talk to me again. This is a great plot, great storyline, very well directed, very well acted, very gory and bloody. I can see, like, when I look at these disturbing movies, I kind of look at them from the standpoint as the person that's going into the movie has never seen, or at least has never really experienced a disturbing movie, like a real disturbing movie. They've seen these in movies that come out in the movie theater. Inside would never have come out in the movie theater, but like movies like Final Destination and Saw and those kind of movies. Those movies are somewhat disturbing, but this movie tops all that. This is like nothing like those movies. And I really feel like this would be a disturbing movie to somebody. Martyrs as well. I just reviewed Martyrs. I feel like Martyrs is up there as well. But this movie tops Martyrs as far as the blood and gore and the kill count goes. If you're not queasy, you don't mind seeing a lot of crazy stuff happening, I really highly recommend Inside. I'd say check it out. I would give this movie, I really love this movie, I would give this movie 8.5 out of 10. I really just love French movies. I love French horror movies. I love disturbing movies that have to do with, things of this nature where, it's kind of like a revenge movie, but it is at the same time a horror movie and you see horrific things happening. So I'll give it about an 8.5 out of 10. This was released by Dimension Extreme. If you're not familiar with the Dimension Extreme line, Dimension Extreme releases a lot of, kind of disturbing, gory movies, but it was released by the Dimension Extreme line, so you can pick it up for probably about $10-12. Something else, they were talking about doing a remake for this movie, but it actually got turned down by the original directors, mainly because there were some rights issues with the movie where they couldn't sell the rights to the movie to the people that wanted to do the remake. So more than likely there probably won't be a remake, but they have been in talks for a remake. I don't feel like this movie deserves a remake. It definitely deserves a remake, but I don't feel like they should do a remake. Let me clarify that a little bit. As well with Martyrs, I feel like these movies are just good the way they are, and I just don't feel like that these movies really need a remake. This movie actually, and another little tidbit about this before I finish up, it is a French movie, but it is dubbed. So it is actually somewhat well dubbed. Like you don't have to worry about. It's kind of like High Tension. High Tension, in my opinion, was kind of well dubbed. This movie was also pretty well dubbed. Like you shouldn't have to watch this movie with subtitles. Like I feel like the English dubbing on the DVD actually does it pretty much justice, and it's not that bad. Like I normally watch it with subtitles. I mean with dubbing. So you can watch it with subtitles, but I think the dubbing isn't really that bad. It doesn't ruin anything about the movie. But anyway, Inside 2007. I highly recommend checking it out. Let me know if there's any movies you guys want to see. I got a lot of disturbing movies I want to check out. I need to upload some stuff to my Tartanasia Extreme series as well. There's a couple of ones I've watched I need to review. But until next time, I appreciate you guys watching. Peace. See you later.